in community support. We want to make it a better district for teachers. We know that there's lots of issues, and we know that if we work together we can solve the issues. We have a couple of people that are going to introduce the candidates, so I'm going to let them speak, and then we're going to give people a chance to say what's on their mind when we're done as well. So without further ado, yes.
Stand up here.
Christina Lawson's with the Walnut Creek City Council, and she's here to introduce Brian Lawrence.
My good friend Brian Lawrence. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm here with my daughter Kate, who's a second grader, chewing on her chocolate croissant. But I couldn't be happier and prouder to be a supporter of Brian and his candidacy for school board. I am a city council member in the city of Walnut Creek. We're thrilled Brian's a resident of Walnut Creek, as I know many of you are as well. Brian, well, I think that you can tell the most about a person by seeing them when they think no one is watching them. And just a quick story about the last time I ran into Brian. He was shopping at Costco in Concord, but he had his 4 children in tow, him alone and his 4 children. He's holding one's in the cart, another's in the cart, another's running around. There's no one more committed to his children than Brian, and I know that he will be committed to the children of your district as well. In addition, committed to education, incredibly hardworking, honest, straightforward, just a great guy in general. I'm so proud to be a supporter, and I'm so glad that you've all chosen to support him as well. My good friend Brian Lawrence.
Thank you very much, and thank you. I knew I had Christina's vote when I saw her at Costco that one day, so it's great to be here. Thank you all so much for, hopefully you've each had a shot of coffee since it's 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Incredibly honored to have the support of MDEA. One of the things as I've considered deciding to run, as I've considered that for the past 2 years, one of the things that's really influenced that has been walking around, talking to teachers, starting with, for 2 years, Mike Langley and I have had conversations, someone who I really respect and who I thought was such a great leader for MDEA and has now handed over the leadership to Guy. And one of the things that Mike and I talked about was the fact that a principal, really, that should be the pinnacle of someone's career as an educator. And what we've seen in Mount Diablo is too many times where those great educators have then been promoted into the district office rather than looking at the individual schools. Because the things I hear when I talk to teachers is the fact that having a great principal who supports them, who understands, especially, I think one of the key roles for a principal is giving coaching and helping teachers. And so someone who has a classroom background, who's able to go in and not just look at test scores and sit in a classroom and look at or in an office and look at scantrons, but actually can go into a classroom and understand the challenges of a teacher. One of the things that's also really influenced me is I've been lucky enough to, over the last couple of years, spend time in my son Thomas's classroom, who he's now at Walnut Acres, but he was over at Monty Gardens. And my wife has spent a lot of time in his classroom, and I've been in there as well. And his teacher, Shannon Pritchard, who I talked about at our candidates forum the other day, just when you walk in that classroom and you instantly know this is a highly skilled educator who knows what she's doing, who's so passionate about teaching the kids, and that she can, I'm stunned. I'm in there for an hour, and it's much like walking out of Costco. I walk out of there after an hour and I'm exhausted from it. And she, Christina was impressed that I was handling 4 kids. Shannon Pritchard's in there managing 30 kids all day, 5 days a week, and it's impressive. And those kids are so enthralled with what she has to teach them. And one of the things is having teachers like her and empowering them, because she doesn't need her lesson plan dictated from up top. She knows what works, and she gives a lot of thought to that, and she changes it based on her kids, giving her that autonomy and having a principal who understands that, who supports that, holds them accountable, but then is there to really grow them. So I think that's the key, that if we want to have great schools, we need to have great principals who attract and retain great principals. One of the things that I've seen over the last couple of years is the district has not treated teachers with a great deal of respect in a lot of instances. I think that's really unfortunate. When we talk about, there are too many instances where teachers have said, I'm afraid to speak up because of, I'm worried about retaliation or something like that. We should have a healthy environment where people can say, one of the other things I said yesterday at our candidates forum is, I was taught that feedback is a gift, and we need to listen to that. We can improve. There's things, even when we're doing a good job, we can always strive to do better. And so I want to represent a board that's really open, that's listening to the people who are on the ground level, who are there every day with the kids, and understand what can we do to make this better. So there will absolutely be some really tough decisions, but one of the things I'm very committed to is making sure that I have an open door, that I continue to have the dialogue and hear from the teachers of what's going on at the school level and how can we help and how can we all work together to make this district better. So thank you again for coming out, and I look forward to working with you now through November and then for the next 4 years. So thank you very much.